Hi, my name is Dana Balawi. I'm a professional makeup artist and hairstylist from Russia and also do a little bit of photography. In today's video, I want to do a couple of makeup looks with the Pat McGrath palette Mothership 6 Midnight Sun, and I would also like to review it. I will say right from the start that I really like this palette. I think that this is one of the best Pat McGrath's palette, but there are like a couple of thoughts that could have made this palette even better. I will express all of my thoughts with all the swatches a little bit later after the makeup looks, and now let me bring you a little bit closer. First I'm going to prep my eyelids, and for this purpose I will use trusty old Painterly paint pot by MAC. I also already had some of my foundation on this immobile lid area for the perfect blend afterwards, but I don't want it to be still sticky, so I will use a little bit of like slightly satin powder. I will use my powder by Hourglass. I will mix these two colors. I also really enjoy using MAC Pro powders for this purpose, so if you watch some of my videos you will see them. So I will apply these powders on my immobile lid area around the eye so that the blending will be much softer afterwards. Now I'm fully ready to apply my eyeshadow, and for my right eye I will start with the color Taboo, which is this soft warm brown shade. I will gradually create a more glam look so that you can see all the steps. I will go from day to glam. As you can see, it's an absolutely beautiful color that blends out effortlessly. It's great as your everyday makeup look. You can just apply a little bit of it in your crease and go out. It will look amazing. And I also want to add it on my lower lid. Always make sure that you connect your lower lid with your upper lid in this area. For me, this is a very nice everyday makeup look. It's buildable. This color has quite some dimension here, and I'm pretty happy with it. On my upper mobile lid, I want to add this metallic shadow in the color Bronze Eclipse. I don't particularly enjoy so warm colors on my skin, but I can't deny that this is a beautiful shade. It's quite a golden bronze, but what I like about it, you can really use it even in your daytime look, because it doesn't have too much sparkle, too much shine. It's like medium shine eyeshadow, and it looks stunning. And now for my inner corner, I will use the Skin Show Moon Glow. I will also add a tiny little bit under my brow. It's a very nice color for your inner corner, for the upper lid if you want to not use the bronze color. There is nothing bad I can say about it. For me, this is a nice daytime look, but now I want to deepen it, and for this I will use the Extreme Dusk color. With the flat brush, I pack the color on my outer part of the mobile lid, and with a small fluffy brush, I bring it upwards, and then I go back to the brush that I used to blend the previous color and mix them all together and create a smooth, seamless blend. I'm actually quite happy how this look is turning out, especially with these earrings. and the background. I see how the dark low lid comes back into fashion, and actually I was quite a fan of it throughout my whole makeup artist career, and I really want to do it today and create a more like smoky under eye. If it's not your cup of tea, don't do it. This makeup look is already amazing. I also took a small round brush and smudged out this dark color with the Taboo color. Now, as I'm looking at this makeup look, I lack the weight on my upper lid, so I'm going to add a little bit more of that dark brown shade. I brought back the shine on the lid with the bronzy color, and now I'm pretty happy with it. This is this grunginess, and this is already like a glam look that I really enjoy. And just for you to know, this amount of darkness applied on top of other eyeshadow without any pencil, this is amazing. This looks really good, and this light is taking so much of the dimension I actually have on my lids right now. But we can actually go even further and add this golden jubilee color on our mobile lid for more sparkle. I will add the lashes and some liner on my waterline off camera, and I will return back to you. I also did one brow. First of all, to tight line, I used NYX Epic Wear Liner Stick in the color Deepest Brown. I really love these pencils. They blend out beautifully, and this color is very natural and very close to my color of like hair. It's not too black, and it adds enough dimension. I love it. 100% recommend. And for my waterline, I used again NYX Epic Wear Liner Stick, but this time in the color Gold Plated, and I think it looks very good with this eyeshadow on my lid. I also did my lashes. I did them the same way I did in this video, and actually my upper lashes, they are not the best feature on my face. They're not my best trait. So just for you to know, I used Maybelline mascaras. They're amazing. And check out this video to bring the most out of your lashes. I will do the second eye, and after that I will apply the blush and the lipstick, and we will look at both of these looks. I prepared my absolutely the identical way I did with my other eye, and now I will apply the eyeshadow Vermilion Venom into my crease and blend it out. Now, as I'm happy with my blending, I will apply this color on my lower lid. I also pack it in the outer V area. With the fluffy brush I used for my upper lid, I blend out the lower lid. Now I will add the sparkle to my lid, and I will apply the Blood Moon 005 on it. I have a little bit of fallout. Again, I want to deepen up a little bit the lash line and the outer V, and I will use this dark brown color for it. And I will also use it a little bit on the lower lid. I think it's actually better to first deepen the shadow and then apply this glittery shade, because otherwise it will be everywhere. This is what I have right now. Now for the inner corner, I will use the color Astral Solstice. I will tight line with the same pencil. And for my waterline, I will use Marc Jacobs Fine Wine Pencil. I will do all the rest makeup off camera and I will come back to you. So this is the finished look on the other side. And the whole makeup done actually. Now it's time for the swatches. Skin Show Moon Glow. It's a very beautiful satin color. It is light beige, more on like a pinky side. Bronze Eclipse. It is a soft metallic shade. This bronze is more on a goldish side, as I have already said, and it applies beautifully. Third shade, Vermilion Venom. It's a gorgeous, warm, a muddy red. I absolutely love this matte color. I will swatch the special shade separately, so now the Extreme Dusk color. Extreme Dusk is an absolutely extraordinary color. It's a very dark brown on a cooler tone side. As you can see, it matches my hair beautifully. And I really like this type of brown, which is deep enough to use it instead of a black. But yet it has such a warm undertone, so it looks very natural on even like lighter skin tones. And I just love this brown. It's an amazing brown. One of my favorite browns by Pat, I think. Taboo. So this color gives this palette additional warmth. Although it's quite neutral, it still has quite a lot of this yellowishness and warmness. I'm not the biggest fan of this type of colors, but I can't deny that it works beautifully. You can blend it out quite easily. It will work marvelously on people with warmer skin tone, maybe darker skin tone than I have. I won't use it maybe on very fair skin tones with a little bit of grayness like to them, because it's kind of a little bit too warm, but it's a very beautiful shade and I love to work with it. Now the green color, Wicked Envy. It's a beautiful green, almost going into like khaki green, and it has this golden sheen. It's a very beautiful metallic. Now it's time for the special shades. I will swatch them all at once. This is Blood Moon 005, Jubilee, Blitz Violet Orchid, and Astral Solstice. Now, can you see them? They're so beautiful. They look like infinite stones. So Blood Bronze 005 is a beautiful red bronze, like orange red bronze. It has so much shine, as you can see, like on my eye. It's just very pretty. It looks like, I don't know, candy, gemstone. The second color is gold. As you know, Pat McGrath loves gold, and she has gold in, I don't know, almost every single of her palettes, at least in every Mothership palette. So here's the gold. It's quite like yellowy gold, it's quite light, and it has a very nice texture. This violet shade is something phenomenal. It is a unique, such a beautiful shade with so much dimension in it. I know that it's not a duochrome, maybe a duochrome would have had more dimension, but I still absolutely love this color. And the last one, Astral Solstice, is one of my most favorite special shades from all of the Pat McGrath's palette, because it has a very beautiful beige undertone and it's just packed with these shiny little sparkles that you can pack on your lid and have like a full lid of them. I even went on one wedding wearing this color in this makeup look. I absolutely love this color. It's so beautiful. You can use it like a wash on your lid or you can pack it. For me, it's worth buying this palette because of this color. Actually, Pat McGrath has this color in one more palette, in Divine Rose 1, which is like Mothership 7. So it even has the same placement right here. So if you're not like a big fan of this color combinations, you can go for this one. Just for you to know. After making the swatches, I want to talk about this palette, like finally. So looking at this palette, what do we have? We have a very nice, strong base, like you have your basics here. So you can easily wear this palette as your everyday palette, which is nice. Do you know what the matte shades remind me of? They actually remind me of this Chanel palette in the color Candeur et Expérience. They are actually quite similar. So they're not identical, of course, but the reds are quite similar. Well, of course, Chanel is not that pigmented. So other colors are not absolutely the same, but they have the same vibe. If you really love this type of color combination for you, maybe Pat will work for you as well, like the matte eyeshadows from Pat will work for you. What else do I feel looking at this palette? So it has a little bit similar vibe to her Mothership 2 Sublime palette. As you can see, they're not the same, obviously, but the vibe is there. So they have some type of orange, they have some type of this like browny black shade, they have the green, they have the gold, more or less quite similar. Although I think that this palette is more like grungy, this palette is more glam. Although this can be glam too. Maybe she's like a grungier sister. So maybe if you already have one of these palettes, either consider buying the other palette one more time, maybe you don't need it, or maybe you use these colors all the time, like one of these palettes, and then consider buying the other one. I actually have the review on this palette, so check it out as well. What else do I feel looking at this palette? So Pat McGrath played with contrasts to make this palette more desirable for us. So what she did, she put here the green, and she also put here the violet. Well, green, I can understand how it works. You can blend it out with, I don't know, this color. It's more or less like neutral. It's khaki green. It goes well with the bronze color, with the gold color. Well, I see that. This color is something that is way off. It's a contrast to this yellow, it's contrast to green, more or less. So looking at it, when we see this contrast, we want to buy it, we want to touch it, because it's now more interesting. But if we close it, it looks much calmer. It doesn't have this contrast anymore. And now, without this color, it's actually a more cohesive palette that is more understandable. Actually, you don't have any color to pair with it. Well, you have the light shades, of course, that you can use for inner corner, but this color, it looks like it's from another palette that she doesn't have. You can use it either like solo on the lid with some like inner corner highlight, or you can use it as a highlight in the inner corner, and that's it. So you will have some additional shades to play with it. For example, if we go into the Mothership 1 palette, they have this beautiful color, they have these two bluish colors, and they will pair with this lilac color so beautifully. But we don't have it like in this palette here. So these colors, they look very good with each other. You can blend it out with this grayish violet and it will look very good. You can use these, either like one of these two colors for the inner corner, and they will play together so beautifully. Like that. You basically need any matte lilac color to pair it with this color so it will look good. What I can suggest you, for example, this palette by Viseart. This is Cool Mattes 2. It has beautiful lilacs here, so you can pair them with this lilac color, for example. Maybe something like this Norvina palette with this beautiful dusty lilac shade. It will also look beautiful with this color. I also, back in the day, made a review of this palette, but unfortunately only in Russian. If you want, you can check it out, of course. So this is the palette by Natasha Denona, and has this color. It's more on like a pinkier side, but it still works very beautifully with this metallic. I also have this color Zena from the Mini Tropic palette by Natasha Denona, and it also pairs very beautifully with this metallic. Although I said that this is fine, that they have this color here, would I enjoy this palette more if they had something like this color from the Safari palette by Natasha Denona to pair it with this green? Well, totally yes. Overall, even if they put, instead of like this color, a more muted taupe brown, like in this Baby Glam palette by Natasha Denona, like this one, it's a very neutral color. You can blend any color with it and it will look nice. So it would have looked very nice with this color and with this color and with every color. Or maybe not like change this color, but put it instead of this regular bronze that is quite generic. Beautiful, but still. This would also made more sense for this palette to have a more neutral brown here. Or, for example, remove this shade, make this shade like more special, like with a baked formula, more shine, and put a dusty green here, like the one from the Safari palette. And this palette would have made much more sense, so it would be the palette that you can use and not be afraid to make a mistake. Right now, you can make quite a lot of mistakes with it if you don't know what you're doing. But don't get me wrong, I quite enjoy this palette. It's very beautiful. I enjoy every special shade here, although there are no duochromes. I love the purple, I love this color. I think that this is quite a staple palette in my collection. I love it. I really enjoy it. But I have like some questions to it. Okay? So I have many other palettes in my collection, so if it was my only palette, I would have felt quite limited with this shade. And I'm not limited with all the other shades as much as with this lilac shade. For whom is this palette? I think, in my personal opinion, that this palette will suit mostly the green-eyed people and also maybe yellow-eyed. So why? First of all, we have this green here that will complement the green eyes beautifully, and yellow eyes as well. Also, we have contrasts to it. So this lilac color is a contrast to a warmer green or a yellow colored eyes, yes? These two colors, they are like a very high contrast to green eyes. So, although I think that this palette will also work for other colors of eyes out there, but in my opinion, it was created for the green-eyed people. So to conclude, do I like this palette? Yes. Do I have some questions to some of the shades? Why are they there? Yes, I have. Is there a color which is underperforming? No, it's a top quality palette. Do I like the textures? Yes. Do I recommend it? Yes. Thank you very much for watching this video. I have some other videos about Pat McGrath palettes, so please check them out if you're interested. Thank you and bye-bye. Mame mi momu, 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 mame mi momu. Hi.